Hi, hello. Hi, I'm Shabazz Larkin, and this is part of my work here, my show called Flowers and Demons, which is an exploration of the things that scare us. I began to have a reoccurring dream that was pretty disturbing, and I really didn't know what to do with it. So I decided to go on a silent meditation retreat to deal with the darkness, to be with the things that really scared me. And turns out the scary things have something to teach us. So I wrote a bunch of notes, maybe like 1,200 notes on my silent meditation retreat. And I'm displaying those notes here. This one says, "It's a joy to come inside my home again." This one says, "Things let go when they are fully understood." This one says, "Let go of the old stories." This one says, "I love the sound of rain in spring." This one says, "The mind is enslaved by feet pics." Oh man. Some of the notes are really pleasant. Some of them are kind of weird. This one says, "Find your way back home." Anyways, that's my show. Here at the Forge, I wanted to do some work that was pretty experimental. Maybe some things that people haven't seen from me before. And I think that people are usually seeing some portraits from me. One of my favorite works from this exhibition is this chair called The Seat in the Garden, which is just a regular old sitting chair that's been in my house for several years. And I hammered all these nails, roofing nails, into it, sort of adorned it. These nails are sort of painted with flowers, and they kind of remember that the brawl in Mississippi. All these things that are sort of used as sort of these regular pieces of wood that have some kind of, in this show, some violence attached to them. Maybe there's some scary things that I'm not sure how to look at there. But these nails really come from this sort of tradition of the Nkondi sculptures from Congo, where they would nail these things into pieces of wood and make promises. And I really wanted to create my own kind of Nkondi, and I did. But I sort of like using them to become these sort of objects of beauty, kind of makes it beautiful, but at the same time it's very on the under the surface still kind of scary. There's still nails underneath there. I really love using wood in this way. I had my good friend Alex from the flower shop here in Nashville make these beautiful flower arrangements. These were a lot more beautiful when they were first installed, but over the course of the month, they've sort of died and started to droop. There's these kind of masks in there, these sort of monster masks, demon masks, and these dead flowers, they sort of, it's what happens. This is the truth of life, of the Dharma, is that things die. And so I think it's a rather beautiful thing to see this, the life of this sort of transform into another figure. So over the course of this exhibition, we've seen these go from very beautiful to these sort of decaying, even though even still, like in this state, there's a beauty to this. As you see, the seeds are falling out, and if this was in out of the gallery context, they would have begun to start regenerating into different forms. So that's the exhibition. Thank you for watching this. And it's the first time I've ever done an installation this big, and I didn't know really how to document it. So I thought I'd just shoot this quick video to tell people about it for those that never got a chance to see it. In the South, if you don't have a gun, sometimes you keep a piece of wood by your door to protect you from intruders. You keep a sculpture or something at the door, and this looks like a beautiful piece of wood, but it's meant to be a source of protection. There's an inscription on it that says, "Walk slow." But you know what? Why don't you come in yourself? There's all kinds of notes in here. Beautiful things, not so beautiful things. This is one of my favorite notes here. It says, "May I be open to all things that arises in the present moment. May I be in harmony with things just as they are. May I let go of all that I cling to. May I walk toward the things that scare me. May I renounce the things that intoxicate me. May I see all things as impermanence, and may I walk in liberation." And I did bring a few portraits, and one of them is of a portrait of James Baldwin. With so much writing, I thought that he would be a significant figure to include in this exhibition. James Baldwin was a sort of a prolific writer during the civil rights movement era of America, and but he was sort of ostracized by the black community, to not being black enough, not being white enough from the white community, obviously. He was ostracized from the Christians because he wasn't Christian enough. He was ostracized from the homosexual community because he wasn't homosexual enough, although he was very homosexual. He wasn't American enough or European enough, and he actually just was him, and it gave him a really profound sense of writing. The second portrait that I brought was that of my son. This is a picture of my son, but he's in a box, which is actually really an image made modeled after the story of Henry Box Brown, which is the man who the enslaved man who put himself in a box to ship himself to his own freedom. And so this piece was really a way to talk about how sometimes we have to contort ourselves, the kinds of shapes that we got to put ourselves in order to find our own liberation. Well, I think that's probably it. I'm not sure I have much else to say. That's 12 minutes long. Maybe the last piece I'll show you is an image of Kali Ma. I placed it next to this seat over here in the corner because I wanted people to have an opportunity to sit with her. Kali Ma is, of course, the Hindu goddess, representing a lot, but she's known as this figure that fights fear and death, that eats fear and death, and eats the hindrances that are in our way. The skulls around her neck are the hindrances, fear and laziness and passion, and she carries a lotus flower over her womb, and underneath her arm she wields a snake and a spear of fire, and a snake around her arm, a dagger, and a crown of bones. This is an Nkondi from a study that I did on monuments. And it's my first sort of venture into playing with nails. And I've included it here as well because I wanted to just kind of show the etymology of these figures. So I call it Flowers and Demons because sometimes the demons have something to teach you. So anyways, thank you all for being here. I appreciate all those who watched all the way to the end. Peace.